Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So you're all welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is discussed. Today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 4, verse number 34. Please repeat after me. Tad Vidi Pranipatina. Tad Vidi Pranipatina. Pariprasina Sevaya Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina Jnanina Tattvadasina Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina. Please chant. Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina
Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya
Pariprasina Sevaya
Upadishyanti Te Jnanam
Upadishyanti Te Jnanam
Jnanina Tattvadasina
Jnanina Tattvadasina Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina. Mothers. Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina. Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina. Tadvide Pranipatina Pariprasina Sevaya Upadishyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadasina. translation, that knowledge of different sacrifices. Vidi, try to understand. Pranipatena, by approaching a spiritual master. Pariprasina, by submissive inquiries. Sebaya, by the rendering of service. Upadishanti, they will initiate. They, you, Jnana, into knowledge. Jnana, the self-realized. Tatwa, of the truth. Dasina, seers. Translation and purport by His divine grace. Translation. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Please repeat responsibly. Just try to learn the truth. By approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. And render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you. Because they have seen the truth. Purport. The purport is very important, so let's pay attention. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplined succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplined succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplined succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, verse 19 says, Dharmam tu shakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in his spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender. And one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant, without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Enquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. I'm taking that again. Enquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, enquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. And when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd enquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him. In submission and service and inquiries, a bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and enquiries becomes perfect. O Magana, Timiranda, Jnana, Solakaya, Chakshu Umlita Viena, Tasman, Shilikulavina. Nama Vishnu Padaya, Krishna, Prasaya Botare, Shri Mate, Bhakti Vedanta, Swamiti Namini, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Goravani, Pricharini, Neravasismyavadi, Pasatya Satarini. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasari, Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tad Vini Pranipatina, Pariprasina, Sevaya. Upadishanti Te Jnanam. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Thank you so much for coming. You're welcome once again. Today I've titled this discussion as the importance of a mentor or a life coach. The importance of a mentor or a life coach. In fact, this very text, as you all know, is very, very famous, a very famous subject, or a verse in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And many of us, when you join newly, this is one of the texts that we're able to memorize, to recite offhand, because it's a very, very, we would say, very familiar topic or verse. In fact, the temple president is Grace Bekashram Prabhu told me I should speak a little about books distribution. So I decided to choose this that we need that we need a mentor in our life, that we need a life coach. In every field of knowledge, it is not possible to become successful if one is not ready to study or learn under a qualified personnel. So it is said that you can never be a father if you have not been fathered before. You can never be a leader if you have not been led before. So it means you need to become a disciple before you can become a master. And today we want to glorify Prabhupada. He is our great mentor. He is our great life coach. Many of us are here today just because of the message of Sri Prabhupada. In fact, it is said that this process of spiritual life, Bhakti Yoga, is not for common people. Bhakti Yoga is not meant for common people. Bhakti Yoga is meant for a very high class level of human beings. Because what we are doing here on earth is the same thing that the demigods are practicing. Trying to understand that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, we are part and parcel of Krishna, and our only duty is to render service, unalloyed service to the Lord. This is the supreme path that is not meant for common men and women. So we should count our stars very fortunate that somehow or the other, even though many of us are not qualified, but somehow or the other, we've come in contact with this movement, and somehow or the other, we are trying our best to become aspiring devotees. See, the fact of the matter is, many of us are here today because we did something. We practiced something in our previous life, and somehow or the other, we are here today, and by the mercy of Krishna, we met this movement. There are people passing here every day. They don't even care to even look at a temple. They don't see the importance. But you are coming from Medina, you are coming from Choco, you are coming from Jamestown, East Legon, Spintex, coming over here. And you think that's just by chance? No. It is because you have some credit, and that credit allowed you to even meet a devotee for the first time. I used to tell my own story that I do remember when I was in class 6, I was a small boy. The Christian people came to our village, and when I came to the temple, I saw Prabhu had a number. I said, this man was part of them. I was in class 6. They came to my village, and I do remember my father was holding my hand. So that day, there was question and answer. I don't know if Prabhu had taken that day. I was a small boy. And my father, being a pastor, he was asking so many questions. And after the whole discussion, he bought items from the devotees. My father bought books. One of the books is Raja Vidya, the King of Knowledge. I was in class 6. I remember this very well. I will never ever forget. So, when I finished secondary school, one of my friends did not get his mass. So he had to go and resit. So one day I was going through my father's box, and I saw the book, Raja Vidya, King of Knowledge. So with the Christian mentality, because the King of Knowledge and the book is the Indian book, maybe it can help my friend to pass his exam. And I do remember I saw some oils in some container and soap my father bought from the wood. It was still in his box. So I gave this book to my friend. I said, see, take this book and read. It's a very powerful book. I didn't know anything about the book. I've never read it before. I know if you read this book, you're going to pass. And he took the book, he read it, and truly, he passed the marks. So I remember when I entered this temple, Prabhu Ramadunacharya, he was in the office. And Shri Prabhu was the temple president. So after my discussion, Prabhu Ram asked me, why are you here? I said I was going to Accra. I saw the signboard. And I liked it. I want to come. I want to join you. He was surprised. Who spoke to you? Who preached to you? I said, no. If that are you forgotten about class when the devotee came to my village? I said, no. Nobody preached to me. So Ram Prabhu took me to Prabhu Shiva's office. That time, Prabhu Shiva was the temple president. So he told him that he'll be going to Nigeria that weekend. So I said I'll be coming to the temple on Sunday. So when I come, you should try to serve me or treat me well. So he gave me this small book, the Transcendental Teaching of Bhagavad Maharaj. I went home on Tuesday. I finished reading the book that day. So on Wednesday, I came back to the temple. And then they gave me the same book I gave to my friend. Raja Vidya, the King of Knowledge. As soon as I saw the pictures, I said, this book I've never seen it before. Srila Prabhupada books are like time bomb. Just leave the book in the house. My father who bought the book probably never even read the book. He's still a Christian. I did not buy the book. I just saw the cover of the book. Here am I. I'm saying, Srila Prabhupada books are so powerful. They are so powerful that anyone with a sane mind, when you are able to reach Srila Prabhupada book with an open mind, you will become an intelligent person. Many of us in Ghana here, many of us, we don't have degrees and masters and PhDs and whatever it is. But we go out there, we meet the PhD holders, the professors. And when we begin to speak, they will ask you, what is your academic qualification? You know what? It's not because we are so special, but our brain has been expanded just by reading the proper books. So I'm saying, we are so much indebted to Srila Prabhupada. And that kind of indebtedness can never be paid in 100 lifetimes to come. So the little we can do is to tell people. I do remember very well when we started, when we joined Newly, myself and some few other devotees. That time when you join Newly, you see something so special about the movement, Shabbat books, the food, everything here is special. When I came, after I came the Tuesday, they gave me the book. I came back on Wednesday, then I came on Sunday. So after the class, they said you're going to do like puja. So when they started Kiba Jaya, Jaya, Gora, Chande, that track, anytime I hear this song, I remember Prabhu Shavas. Because I remember that day, I was standing here, and that Shabbat deity was this side. So he was standing in front, and the way the swimming step, the way he moves, I love that movement. I said, what kind of dancing is it? I was just happy within my heart. I didn't know what to do. And that day, they gave watching. You know, I mean, we are coming that time. Christians, we love meat. We love meat. We can't eat food without meat. I mean, for a time, somebody who is not so civilized. I use that word because meat is not meant for civilized people. It is very difficult to eat any food without meat. It wouldn't taste anything. In our village, they call it tuku. Tuku means you cook food and no meat, no fish. Nobody wants to eat it. Will you hear me? But I ate that one thing, and trust me, there was something special with that food. There was something. So I asked the guy. That time, Jnana and Kobe and those people, they were just small boys. So I said, do you say there's no meat in this food? They have meat. We are vegetarians. I said, can you pack some for me? So after when we ate here, he packed some for me and I sent it home. When I went there, you know, at that time I had some friends also. So I said, see, taste the food and see. I went someplace. The place is powerful. I was talking about it. So I didn't know anything that time. I made read the book. But something special, I saw something special with this movement and I wanted to share with people. So after reading some book, now we are developing some understanding of the movement that this world, if we really want to go back to God, we need to practice religion. And for us to be able to ascertain whether our religion is actually accepted by God, there are 4 rules that we should follow. We can be Christian, we can be Muslim, we can be Hindus, we can be Buddhist, Jewish, whatever. But if you are not practicing a religion that have 4 main pillars, it means that there is something lacking in your religion. So I was like, what kind of thing is that? They said, you need to be merciful. I said, yes. It's not easy to be merciful. We are all merciful out there. So no. Mercy means you should not cause pain to any living entity. You should not be the cause or the source of the suffering of other living entities. Then I started thinking, but we don't kill human beings. Then I said, no. When you cause pain to other living entities, even animals, even trees, unnecessarily, that also causes harm. So I started thinking again. I said, wow, then what's the second one? They said cleanliness. One must be clear that you understand that cleanliness next to godliness, but it is not the outside cleanliness. They have to explain and see what do they mean by cleanliness. They talk about austerity and all those stuff. So I was like, really? So how do I become the vegetarian as you're talking about? They said, no, we don't force people to become vegetarian. Just read our books and chant this prayer, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I said, okay. So I remember very well, I bought the beads and I would carry the bead everywhere because I wanted people to see that I do something powerful, you know. When it's genuinely, that kind of feeling. So I'll be holding the bead long like that and I'll be quiet, I'll be murmuring like that all the time. So after I chanted for some time, exactly 2 weeks. At that time, they had some car, small car, some black car, van, sham. So in the evening, when class ended, then the bus will send all of us to town. They will drop us a circle, then from there you can just find your own destination. I remember Mother Baikuta was there, the mother, and other security, and computer members who was inside the car. So he went, normally he followed the car. So when the car is coming by, he was promoted by them. Another senior devotees. So in the vehicle, Mother, what's the name? Pujari, our main Pujari. Mother Director was in the car. So I was so they were talking about eating meat and all. I said, me, but I cannot prepare the food without meat. Then when Pujari said, you cannot prepare beans. Huh? I said, yes, so. So I just prepare beans and boil rice. You make me a vegetarian. I said, oh, then it's good. I became a vegetarian that day. So when I got home, I bought this stove, didn't carry this stove. I went to go and buy some small white soba. I still have it now. So I will cook the rice. I will cook the rice, yes, and I will cook the beans. But later I saw that it was troublesome. So in the afternoon, I will go to the rakat. They have where they are selling beans. In the afternoon, I will buy the beans. I won't take curry. Then in the evening, I will go and buy rice. I won't take stew. Then I'll mix it with the salad and all that. So I started doing that for some time. Then I started knowing how to prepare the stew and all that. So later I got to understand that yes, being merciful is so important. And just after 2-3 months, when you see somebody trying to slaughter an animal, you feel for the animal. So I understood that okay, this is the mercifulness they are talking about. So you cannot ask for mercy from God when you are not merciful towards other living entities. We go and stand in front of God in our temples, in the mosque, and we pray to God, my dear Lord, have mercy on me. But we are not merciful. When you get a goat, you slaughter it like anything. You don't care. So gradually, we started developing this kind of faith that okay, it is not good to harm other living entities. Gradually, and I'm saying all because of power. Then we got to a point we thought we should come here frequently. Until one day, when I was here, they said they were going to Harinam. I should join. And Prabhu Satyaki gave me some small duty like that. We went to Kufuridia. This my duty was just tiny. And I remember when we came back, I was able to distribute books. But I said, you're good. And this is the first time we're able to give books like that. And we enjoyed it. The way the devotee will start playing kirtan, we are playing kirtan, we are singing, dancing. And the dancing became very hot. Wing, wing, wing. Hey, what's happening? Serious dancing. After dancing, somebody will take my microphone and preach to the people. And after that, we have our books. We have to approach and give the books. It was a beautiful experience. So after some time, gradually, we were reading the books. No, I'm saying all for you to understand the importance of a mentor or a life coach in our lives. We are wherever we are today because somebody mentored us. Maybe not physically, but somehow through the Bible books, we were mentored. We have to read the books, don't do this, don't do that. And me, I will tell you that anybody who reads the Bible books, anyone who reads the Bible book, that person will never fall out of devotional service. No matter how the difficulty the situation becomes, no matter how bad things become, if you read the Bible books, you will never ever fall down. So anyone who reads the Bible books, first thing you understand that you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. So now you see that you become a little bit, detached from your own self and things, the extension of your own stuff. For instance, your own properties and stuff. When you begin to read the books, now it gets to a point, the attachment for yourself and things that are considered to be your own extension, that attachment goes down. It's a fact. So I remember when we joined New League, I loved watching television. There was a series that time, Sunset Beach, 1996, around that age, it was so famous. Sunset Beach, when it's 7 o'clock, everybody goes and watches Sunset Beach. That was the time we joined, 96, 97, that way. And after about a month, I stopped watching the television. All those that are considered to be friends, because some of my village people were here, nobody, I don't talk to anybody like a friend. Morning, I have the books, I will read the books, and then I will be chanting in the evening. So I had all the books before I even moved into the community. Before I came to stay in media here, I had almost read all the books. It's only the Shuma Bhagavatam and the Chaitanya Charitamrita, those were Boga books. But the other ones, I've read them 2-3 times. And just by reading the books, I tell you, we had so much understanding. And I remember my mother heard that I have joined some Indian church, and she said, if I don't stop, when she dies, I should not even come to her funeral. So I said, okay, if that's the case, I will not even go to the village again. I will stay in Accra and die here. But after about 2 years, I saw that, yes, now I'm able to talk to people. And when I speak to people, they appreciate it. I said, oh, so if I'm talking to people and they understand what I'm doing is not bad, why am I going to talk to your mother? When you say that you've been, okay, so I'm like you're no more part of the family. So I went there, I went with my small stove, I have my silver pot and stuff. I bought chunks. That time I used to buy chunks from Circle. I bought chunks and some spices. So my mother will not talk to me. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll try my job back, I'll be moving in the house there, It's beautiful. If we can all rejoin this call, if all of us can rejoin every day, our life will be so perfect. How we join the enthusiasm, the bliss we experienced by chanting Maha Mantra, how we respected devotees, how we wanted to really serve devotees. If we can rejoin each and every day, I tell you, we will never be acting the way we are doing now. So for 2 good weeks, my mother will not talk to me. So in the morning, after doing my job like that, then I'll bring my stove out. Maybe I had a previous soup there, I'll warm it, and maybe I'll buy some yam or boil some yam like that. So for 2 weeks, my mother was not talking to me. So the 14th day, I came out of the room and my mother saw me and he said, "What's your girl called a yeti call?" Not like that you check your attending is good for you, so she continue. Because you're my son, I know you before you left here. And I can see you a completely changed person. So if it is a check that has changed you this way, then it's good for you. That is it. And all this while, we've not even come to live in the temple. We were staying outside. I was working outside. We were not living in the temple community. We were just outside. But for one reason, we were reading the Papa books. And you know, when you read the Papa books, you are actually directly associated with the Papa. So you don't take it like a graphic. You take your time, respect the book. You know, and when you are reading our books, we will touch our fingers with our tongue. You know, spiritual books you should not be touching, silent, but be opening. Give respect to the book. You don't put it on your bed, put it on the floor. You must respect any book that is coming from God. So when you read a book, you are actually associated with the Prabhupada. So yes, we were out there. We were not staying in the temple. We can't stay only once in a week. But because we were reading the Prabhupada books, we were making very quick advancement. What I'm saying is that you need a mentor. You need a life coach in your life. You cannot be a doctor just by reading books. No, it is not possible. You have to go to the school. And even after about 6-7 years, you still have to go and study under a qualified doctor before you be given a certificate to operate. You can't be any engineer just by reading books. You have to go to school, study under somebody. So it is so important that in life, we should take somebody as our mentor, somebody as our life coach. Many of us, yes, by Christian arrangement, we've taken initiation. We have our personal spiritual master, but Prabhupada is our supreme mentor, the supreme life coach, the supreme spiritual master. So wherever you are, you need to be grateful to Prabhupada, read his books, and then try to share with other people. You know, any sincere person, when you have something good, you want to share with other people. Unless you're a greedy person. If you are greedy, then when you have something nice, you don't want to share with people. But any sincere person, when you possess something that is good, or something that is of a great quality, you want to share with other people. So, we know this movement is the only way. See, many of us, like me, I'm a very controversial person. I don't accept things anyhow. And by Christian arrangement, we have studied many things. But I tell you, Bhakti Yoga is the best way, the only way that will be able to lead us back to God. Bhakti Yoga means unalloyed devotional service to God. We serve God not because we desire anything. We serve God not because we have any ulterior motive. But we serve God because it's our duty. And we feel happy doing so. So if you find yourself in that mood, it means that you are actually practicing devotional service. You know, I've been telling people that we have 3 different kinds of religion. We have religion in the mode of ignorance. We have religion in the mode of passion. We have religion in the mode of goodness. There are people, yes, people are worshiping God, but they don't even understand. You go out and ask somebody, what are you doing? I'm worshiping God. Really? How does God look like? And the person begins to fumble. God is spirit. Yes, God is spirit, but how does he look like? He will tell you God cannot be seen. That person might be worshiping God, but the person is worshiping God in ignorance. You don't even understand what you're worshiping. And there are people who are worshiping just because they are looking for something in life. They want to be rich, they want to be powerful, they want to be famous. They have something in mind. I'm actually worshiping God because of this. This kind of religiosity is religion in the mode of passion. But for those who are worshiping God in goodness, they worship God because they feel that in every administration, there are laws. In your own house, you cannot behave anyhow. Your parents have some rules for you as a son or daughter in the house. In the morning, you need to wake up early in the morning, probably you do some house chores, you take your bath before you go to school. In every house is there. You can't just sleep the whole day, just wake up, you don't even greet anybody, nothing in the house, and then you walk and go to school. Your parents will not allow you. There are rules in that house. In every country, there are rules. You buy your own car. If you don't do insurance, the policeman is going to arrest you. You bought your own car. You have to pay for the import duty. But if you don't have roadworthiness on your car, you'll be arrested. Now they are COVID rules. Go and stand out there and without wearing those masks, the police can just arrest you. If they want to, disturb you or maybe detain you. There are rules everywhere. So many nightclubs are closed now because they say that COVID rules don't open. Go and open. They will send the police and they will come and arrest people. So what I'm saying that in every institution, there are laws. So those who doesn't want to understand or follow laws, they say there's no God. Huh? There are people like that. They don't want any check and balances in their life. So they will tell you there's no God. So if there's no God, then there's nobody for me to report to that can go ahead and do whatever I want to do. These are the people that say there's no God because they want to live a free life. They don't want to be accountable. But the fact of the matter is there any administration in the world that people are not for or people are not being expected to follow some rules? So in the administration of the material world, even if you don't believe in God, material energy, everything is working. The sun is rising and setting, rain is there, we breathe air, everything is in abundance. And you think that nobody is behind this, then you are a fool. If you think that the sun is just rising and setting, and then the rain falling, the air is, we breathing the air, and everything in abundance, and everything is working by own chance, and there's nobody, there's no proprietor behind all this beautiful arrangement, then you are a big fool. Because see, as a human being, you should be able to analyze yourself and find out, is there anything in this world that doesn't belong to anybody? All the beautiful cars you see on the road, they are owned by some people. All the beautiful buildings you see, these buildings are owned by someone. Is there anything in this world that we can just point our hand to that this thing just came from nowhere and it doesn't belong to anybody? Everything we see is owned by someone. So we say now the sun is not owned by anybody. When you go out there, there are satellites there. In the night, they also light like the stars. They are owned by the scientists. Americans have their own, China have their own, Russia, and everybody, they are having their own up there. So you can't tell me, okay, this satellite is there, you can just go there and then use it. No, the satellite is owned by somebody. So you're telling me that sun that is rising every morning and setting in the evening is not owned by anybody. That's just sitting here, everybody is breathing smoothly, freely. It is not owned by anyone. If you have ever been sick to the hospital and you need oxygen, if you stay on oxygen for just a month, you know how much money it's going to pay. The oxygen the scientists is producing, you have to pay. So we are breathing freely, and we think nobody on the earth. See, we need to sit back and rethink that everything is owned by somebody. So even if you don't want to say the owner of all the beautiful things we see is God, we start to think that somebody is owning all these things, and that person deserves our worship. So those who are worshiping in the mode of goodness, they see the providence, the owner of all the beautiful things we see, and then they worship himself in. Not because they are desiring for anything, but they feel that, okay, it is our duty to do so. So by some of us now, we understand that we are not this body, we are spiritual. Some of us are even afraid of dying because we understand that death means separation of the spirit soul from the body. It is very simple. So at least, by Sabbath mercy, many of us in this room are becoming civilized. We are not eating meat anymore. Meat eating is the most horrible thing. People who are actually eating meat, they don't know how horrible meat is. If you become a vegetarian for only 2-3 months, you cannot drink from the cup of a meat eater. Those those watching on Facebook, if you like, try it. Stay vegetarian for only 3 months, and you cannot drink from the cup of somebody who eats meat. When you take the cup, it smells like anything. Very horrible. And when you speak like that, people say, but God said we should eat meat. Oh yeah, and they have very wonderful arguments in the Bible, from the Quran, whatever it is. But those who are very intelligent, those who are very sensible and sincere, those who are genuinely trying to understand God, understand that these things are not, subscriptions to meat eating. For instance, the Bible says that we can eat anything. That's what the Bible says. And people say, okay, anything means anything. But do you eat your own stew? Huh? If you see anybody eating the stew, you think the person is a mad person. You don't. So ask people. See, in Christian consciousness, we learn so much that we even go into science. Because actually, science means the truth. So everything that is supported by science should be truthful. So for instance, we look at this, our body. Is this body meant for meat? You might say yes, because you love it, that's okay. But when you are sick, go to your doctor and ask him, if you want to stay healthy, what should be your source of food? He will tell you, eat more vegetables, drink more water, have more rest, stop eating red meat. They will be telling you. When people have cancer, they have kidney issues, they have stroke, the doctor tells them, if you can abstain from meat, it will help you. You know why? Because this body is not meant for meat. Scientifically it's proven. See, we have herbivorous creatures and we have carnivorous creatures. If you go to science, I did science in school, so we have a little bit of knowledge when it comes to science. All carnivorous creatures, they possess a long teeth called the carnivore teeth. If you open the mouths of the cat, the dog, and the lion, you see some very long teeth, and that teeth actually is meant for tearing. So the dog, the lion, the cat, when they tear meat, they will swallow it. Because all carnivorous creatures possess molars. So when the dog, they're eating, they take the meat and they will swallow because there's no molars for chewing. But all herbivorous creatures like the sheep, like the goat, like the cow, they don't have carnivore teeth. They have molars. So when they cut the leaf, they will chew it. The human beings don't possess carnivore teeth. We have molars. So our dental arrangement is like that of the herbivorous creatures. All carnivorous creatures possess claws. So you see that of the dog, the cat, the lion, when they're angry, the claws comes like that. The cat is so dangerous because of the claws. A small cat like that can kill you. They will grab you and they will kill you within 1 minute because of the claws. That of the vegetable eating, animals like the sheep, like the cow, they don't have claws. They have nails. Human beings don't possess claws. We have nails. So that also looks like that of the herbivorous creatures. All carnivorous creatures perspire through their tongue. So you see the dogs will be like this, and the water will be dripping because they perspire through their tongue. But all herbivorous creatures perspire through their skin pores. So it is said that we drink 50 in the bar, but because any human being, the human being don't perspire through our tongues. We perspire through our skin pores. So in that aspect, we look like that of the herbivorous creatures. Every carnivorous creature, the intestinal tract is 3 times the length of the body. What I'm saying is that if you kill a dog and you remove all the intestine and they measure from the head to the toe like that, it is only 3 times scientifically proven. But all herbivorous creatures, the intestinal tract is 11 or 12 times the length of the body. And according to science, the human being intestinal tract is 11 or 12 times the length of the body. There's some special acid in the body of all carnivorous creatures. They can eat so much meat, so much fat, and nothing happens to them. But a human being eats a little fat, you die. Small fat, you have done this, you have this. So yes, we are eating the meat, we are eating the fish and the egg. We are not dying. Yes. When you have a diesel engine, you can, use petrol for some time. Huh? But the engine will break down. If you decide, okay, this man, you're a nice guy, yes. For me, no. I don't like the scent of petrol, I like diesel. And the car is a petrol engine. You start buying diesel inside, you will break the engine. So this our system is actually not meant for flesh. But we decide to do this. So all the dangerous sickness in this world comes from meat. You can count. Huh? We have the swine flu, the bird flu, this one, Ebola, and even this one that now person cannot even breathe. This one, everywhere you go, you have to do tests. You have to do this. When they put that inside your nose, it's painful. When they are going for the test, they have something long like this. They will put inside your nose and if you are traveling far, you have to do everywhere you have to go and do this testing. According to these people, it came from bats. So if human beings were supposed to be all vegetarians, all this kind of stupid sickness, where will we go and take them from? From time to time, we have the bird flu, we have the swine flu, everything from meat. But the dogs, they are eating their meat, they are eating all this, nothing is happening to them. So the fact of the matter is that we need to appreciate the power. Because I'm saying we need a mentor in our life, we need a life coach. See, if you're a businessman, you need to have somebody who is very intelligent when it comes to business for the person to become your coach or maybe your mentor. So no matter when you go to the meetings of business people, yes, you can see everybody is a business guy. And they have one guy everybody's looking up to. They guide them. So if we want to become spiritual people, we need people who are spiritually advanced, like our gurus, like Sri Prabhupada. And how do we do that? Sri Prabhupada is not on earth anymore, but we should associate with him from his books. There are so many books. And after you've read all these books and you appreciate them, you don't sit down. Go out there and give a book to somebody. Many of us, we come here every Sunday. Why not taking one book and give to a friend? Just give the book to the friend. The friend might not even read it. He will go and put it in the house. Maybe the brother, the nephew, the son or the daughter one day will see the book and that book will become a source of inspiration to the person. So yes, all of us, we need life coaches in our life. Those of us in this room are very fortunate because our gurus are there, Sri Prabhupada is there, all our senior devotees are there. We have people we can look up to. We are not looking for mentors that will mentor us into business, into occult science, into anything. We need people who can guide us to understand who we are, who is God, what is nature, and what are the relationships. Somebody to do this is a great mentor. And Sri Prabhupada is there. And if we really want to show Sri Prabhupada some kind of appreciation, then we need to discuss, with people, the kind of information we have acquired from these books. So today, I am here to tell you, don't be selfish. You are here because somebody probably preached to you. You are here because somebody gave you a book. Don't be selfish and greedy. Share whatever you are hearing from here with other people. Maybe you are not a good speaker, you are not a good preacher, but at least you can get a book and dash to a friend. You have a colleague at workplace, get a small book. Now my friend, this book is a very wonderful book. Go and read it. We have this book called Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. A very small book, tiny book, but I tell you, it's so loaded. So all of us should try and get some books. When you go out there, let us share with people. In fact, there are senior devotees out there, they are trying to help for us to have so many books. Some few days back, we had a meeting on Zoom, and there's a devotee in Dubai who is vigorously trying to help us to have so many books, so that all of us can listen to some books. Wherever you live, let people know you as a devotee. Act properly. People will look at you, and they say, well, this guy is a different person. I bought some land somewhere, and this man is a doctor. I didn't know this man knew me anyway. So it's very expensive, and how much I gave him was like penny. The man took it, and I promised him that I'll pay small. It's okay. So when I paid 2 plots, he said, yes. In fact, you've proven me right. People told me you're a good person. I said, who? He said, yes. When you wanted to buy the land, because some people have come to buy and I didn't give them. Somebody told me you were a good person. So maybe I don't even know the person. Yes, maybe you don't know the person, maybe the person around. Somebody say you're a good person, that's why I gave it to you. So what I'm saying is that wherever you live, let people know that you're a devotee. Act properly. You should be mature. The way you speak like a civilized human being. The way you do things. In the material world, there are so many things there. People have to gather and gossip and say things, unnecessary things. And devotees don't show any interest in those things. Now, if you don't have book to read, now all the books are online. If you can download this, if you're watching me on Facebook, listen, you go to App Store, if you're using an Apple phone, look for Veda-based. All Shabbat books are there. If you're using, Android phone, go to the Google Play Store. Download the Veda-based. All the books are there. And being on social media and following all nonsense, unnecessary things there. Take your time and read your Bible books. I tell you, you will be a different person. You cannot compete with armed robbers. You cannot compete with drunkards. You cannot compete with anybody out there. Why don't you do something that will make you unique? Do something that will make you unique. For instance, when I'm moving with some of my friends now, because what I do out there, I have so many big friends. They have money, but they know they're not to be an educational person. So even though they are big academically, everything, they are more than me, but they respect me. Become unique. You don't have money, you don't have cars, you don't have anything, but you have Krishna consciousness, and people will respect you for that. You go out there with friends, when there's any argument, as soon as you want to speak, everybody will keep quiet and listen to you. This is the power of devotional service. You might not have anything, but as soon as you begin to speak, people want to listen to you because they know that probably you have something they don't have. So I used to tell this Kobe and those guys that I see, you people are living in a temple and you want to shave like Kamis out there. The kind of money they have to buy nice shoes and nice dresses, you don't have. You can't imitate them. Their parents probably have money, you don't have. Academically, they are so qualified, probably you couldn't even finish your own, your college, whatever it is. Why don't you do something so that when you are in their midst, they will keep quiet and listen to you? And I'm telling you the best. We move with PhDs. There are people that can give birth to me. There are people that academically I can't compare myself, but they call me daddy. When I travel to any place, at times I feel bad. You get to the airport and people are there, you see big people. Recently, when I went to Vegas, there's this man, he's having his own hospital there. And the way this man was treating me, I was like, a physician in the USA. It's not because of anything, because of the little things that I know from these books. People were like almost worshiping you. Yes, you are not doing it because of those things, but I'm saying that you should be unique. Do something that many people cannot do. There are so many drivers there. There are so many business people. There are so many teachers. But only few devotees. Become a good devotee and you become unique. Wherever you go, you're unique. And all this we can do by appreciating of Prabhupada, reading his books, and then giving his books to all our friends. When you do this, here we will enjoy life. I'm telling you, you don't have money, you don't have anything, but you still enjoy life because you'll be content with yourself. And one day when we leave this body, Krishna is there, our Guru Maharaj will do it on our behalf. We should try to be genuine, sincere, and said, when we leave here, our Gurus will intercede on our behalf. Hare Krishna. So I will end here and I'll give a few minutes for question and answers. Few minutes for question and answer. So if you have any question, the microphone is there, so you can ask your question.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for wonderful lectures.
Hare Krishna.
I once asked that according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 5, verse 108, one devotee asked me that it is said that through Prabhupada's book we can attain Goloka Vrindava and just vibrate the holy names of the Lord. That is what is quoted over there.
Okay.
So my question is, but if you read the people say that you have to learn something better, or before you get to vibrate that mantra, there's a Buddha will teach you. So the person can ask me that.
What mantra?
The Krishna mantra.
Okay.
So the person can ask me, so what is the value of initiation of a guru in someone's life?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, you see, the guru is a transparent medium between us and God. Like Jesus said in the Bible, he said it's the way, the truth, and the light. No one goes to God except through him. Yes, that is the duty or the position of the spiritual master. The master is a transparent medium between us and God. Without the guru, nobody can see God. Like Jesus said in the Bible, if you don't go through the master. So we accept Jesus to be master. We have so many gurus. We don't say a guru, we say the guru. There are many, but they are one. And Jesus is one of our gurus. So all the masters are only one. Without passing through them, you cannot go to God. So now, in Christian consciousness, when one is sincere enough to start practicing following the principles, you need to be brought closer to the Lord. You know? So now you have to go in for initiation. Initiation is just like taking baptism out there. If you're a Christian, say you are going for baptism. When you take initiation, there are rules and regulations. You have to take a vow that all the old bad things you used to do, you're not doing them anymore. And the guru also promised you, okay, if you follow all this principle and accept God sincerely, then when you leave this body, I will also assist you to go back to God. So the guru is so important. So the Maha Mantra, yes, it's very important. Anybody at all can chant the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody can chant it, but when it is given by a guru, it comes with potent energy. Okay? So yes, initiation is very important. We have to be initiated. We have to take baptism. It's a vow you take. You won't do all those bad things again. You would like to live a righteous life, for instance. No intoxication. You don't take alcohol. You don't take weed. You don't take all those things that intoxicate. No meat, no fish, no egg, no gambling, no illicit sex. You try to practice all these things, and then every day you recite Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, minimum of 16 rounds every day. When you do this, you will see that you'll be a changed person. It will help you. And if you can be in that conscious till the time you die or you leave this world, then by this arrangement now, you will be saved. So yes, initiation is very important. Without being fathered before, you can't be a father. So if you don't serve under a guru as a disciple, how do you become a qualified soul to go back to Godhead? If you want to go to America now, what you have to do, you have to go and see an agent. The agent will brief you how to acquire the visa and all that. If you want to go to American embassy and you don't know any information, you go and read from online or something, you go there, they will bounce you. But the agent will be able to tell you some of the questions you'll be asked and how to respond to them. So the agent is so important if you want to travel out. Okay, many times you don't even buy a ticket, you have to use an agent because they have their own fee, you're able to get the reduced rate and that kind of thing. So the guru is like agent between us and God. Without the guru, nobody can see God. So Jesus said it, without me, you can't go to the Father. And we say the same thing here, all gurus are one. Like Jesus said, I never came to destroy the prophet or the commandments. So all that they said is what I'm coming to fulfill. So the prophet that came before Jesus Christ, they were not bad people, they were good people, messengers of God. And Jesus said, I'm coming to fulfill all that they said. So if somebody is coming to fulfill what somebody said, it means that there is no difference between what I'm going to do and what the person did. So all the gurus are one. Without passing through a guru, you cannot see God. That's what Christ said. Without me, you can see God. So yes, initiation is very important. Like it said in the Bible, so like I said in the Bible, if one doesn't take the second birth or baptism, there's no way you can go back to God. So baptism is very important, initiation is very important. Addition. Is there any, if we take, what's the time? We will take, okay, we are listening 3:30. Okay, so we have 12 minutes, so let's see. The next question?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna.
I thank you for your effort to enlighten us. My question is, you laid emphasis on some points and you are claiming that science are proving something. But I also want to ask, if you also consider science in your teachings, it says that a fertile soil is containing living animals that is 15%, from 5% to 15%. And these living animals are made of ex animals. Now, plants also manufacture their own food, taking remains of those animals, and then they produce food from it. Now, we are advised to abstain from it. Our source of food is also prepared from the remains of the animals. And so, what are we instigating?
Okay, so in Krishna consciousness, we are not so happy to say that we are vegetarians. We are not just vegetarians. We are Krishnatarians. Because our vegetarian foods are prepared in a very serene atmosphere and is offered to God. In fact, it's the material that to live, one must eat, and to eat, one must kill. So everybody's killing. Even though the Bible says that we are vegetarians, we kill some or the other. Even though our killing is not like that of people who are killing animals. So even the tomatoes, the pepper, the gardeners that you pluck from that tree, if you don't offer it to the owner of that thing, you become a thief. So yes, we are vegetarians, but we don't just eat anything without offering it to God. So when you take the apple, we offer it to Krishna before you eat. Yes, after eating the apple, we throw the seed will germinate. Huh? When you go there and then you eat the mango, after eating the mango, the seed is there, you leave it there, it germinates. But I don't think when you go and eat the goat, and after go and plant the head inside there, the goat will come. So you understand that here vegetarians are, even though we cause some harm to other living entities in a very minimal way. Okay? So yes, to live one must eat, and to eat one must kill. So we have to accept what belongs to what is our quota. So by nature's own arrangement, we are supposed to eat vegetables. Those animals who have been assigned to eat meat, like the tigers and the cats or whatever, when they eat meat, they are not committing any sin. Because that is their destined food. A food that has been assigned to them. So those of us who are also vegetarians, we must, depend on what is meant for our system. But still, we need to offer our food before we eat. Let me give one example. In the Bible, there's a story about Abraham. Abraham was instructed to go and kill his own son, Isaac. And according to the Bible story, God brought some ram. God told him to kill. Had it been God did not bring the ram and Abraham went ahead to kill Isaac, it would have been a sin. Because God directed him to do so. On the battlefield, when the commander says shoot, any soldier who is able to shoot and kill the enemy, you get a medal. Okay? But as soon as you leave the battlefield, you come home and you take the same AK-47. You go and be shooting people, you'll be killed. So the same soldier, the same gun, the same bullet, you kill on the battlefield when you are following the orders of the commander, you receive a medal. But the same weapon, the same person, the same bullet, even the same uniform, you kill outside the battlefield, you go to jail. So if you don't want to go to jail by eating, then your food, which is vegetarian food, must first be offered to the owner of those items. If you come to my house and you want to come and pluck some flowers, the ordinary flower, you have to tell me, please, I need some flower. Can I say yes? Go ahead. If you don't tell me and you're plucking the flower, I can arrest you. So God owns everything. So anything we want to consume, we must first inform God. How do we do so? In the temple, we have a special kitchen. The kitchen is supposed to be an extension of the altar. You go there before you go and cook, you have to take your bath. And as you are there cooking, you should be thinking of God, serving God. When the food is prepared, you don't even taste it. But don't forget, cooking is an act. So the pepper, the salt, and everything is measured in the mind. So the food is offered on the altar to the Lord. After 10-15 minutes, you take the food, and it's not just food, but the mercy of God. So in your own house, you don't have altar. Yes. Make sure you don't eat from your cooking pot. The same pot, the new pot. Cook the food. After cooking, don't taste it. You can say a prayer, my dear Lord, you are the owner of the rice, the oil, the cabbage, everything I used in preparing this food. If I don't inform you, I become a thief. So my dear Lord, accept this food so that it will help me to understand you more. Leave the food there for about 5, 10, 15 minutes. You can start dishing from the main pot and then into your own small plate and eat. That food becomes spiritualized. It is a very special thing. You can try it and see. God is the supreme pure. Anything God touches becomes pure. So when our foods are offered to God, God touches it and the food becomes a source of it becoming more divine. You understand? Hare Krishna. We have 6 minutes more.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your time.
Hare.
In today's world, the problem is not about who is God. Most people agree that there is God. But the issue is where to find the genuine source, the genuine knowledge that will lead you to God. Now, we also said about gurus, that we call them the guru. My problem is, why is it that the guru, who are supposed to communicate the same message, but here comes their followers understand them differently? For instance, Lord Jesus Christ. Christians even don't believe that Krishna is the supreme God. Why this diverse understanding?
Okay.
And what should I use to identify a genuine religion or a genuine faith?
Yes, but your question is a very, very good one. The messengers from God, they come in different places, time and circumstance, and they have different kind of message for the recipients. But it doesn't mean that the essence is different. The essence is only one. You see, the teachers in KG, they teach the children that 3 minus 1, 3 minus 2 is 1. But 2 minus 3 is not possible, right? In KG, I mean, they tell you have 2 mangoes. You cannot take 3 mangoes from 2 mangoes. So when they are writing exams, and the teacher asks them, 2 minus 3, is it possible? Yes or no? Huh? If you say no, correct. If you say yes, no, wrong. But when we go to secondary school, 2 minus 3, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. So do you say that the teachers are teaching 2 different things? They are teaching based on the level of the recipient. So when Jesus came and said, you are very stupid people, you are always looking for a miracle. Because people were so dull-headed, they want to see wonderful before they believed in Jesus. So he got to a point, everybody left Jesus Christ. And he asked the disciples, do you want to also leave? Say, no, where will you go? You are the one who can give us salvation. So people were so dull-headed that when they have seen miracles, they will not listen to Christ. But we follow Sanatana Dharma. Scholars, people that will sit down and they will study nature, they will study the scriptures, and they will answer every question. This is what we are doing here. So in university, you go and study that house there. A very high advanced level of mathematics. You don't do that in primary school. But the fact that you are in university doesn't mean that the person who is in primary school is not schooling. The fact that you are in university, you are a PhD holder, learning that, doesn't mean that you are schooling and the KG kids are not schooling. We are all schooling. But the level of our understanding, the teacher will give you something that you'll be able to consume or something that will be okay for your system. So the masters are many. Jesus said, I have many things to tell you, but now you can't even understand it. But when I leave, then when the Spirit comes, you guys will be directed towards all the what is right, what is bad. So the fact of the matter is that even Jesus did not inform them everything. But in the Gita, Krishna says that I'm giving you something. After knowing this, there's nothing else for you to be known again. Everything is known just by knowing this. So yes, the masters are many, they give different information, but essence is only one. But for those who actually understand, they know there is no difference between Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. We are all doing the same thing. So the Gita says even those who are worshiping idols, they are worshiping God, but maybe in a wrong way. So everybody is worshiping God. Everybody you see in this world is worshiping God. And because of that, one day, eventually you go to God. But it will take you many lifetimes. But it will take somebody only one lifetime. Depending on your level of understanding and your level of service. So yes, many messengers, many gurus, but the message is only one because the essence is one. So it is very difficult seeing an Christian devotee having a serious argument with a Muslim or Christian. That why. We don't do that. We don't do. Because we say that even an idol worshipper is of much importance than somebody who said there's no God. There are atheists around, they say there's no God. And somebody is worshiping an idol. We appreciate them more than somebody who says there's no God. Because at least you understand that I'm not the supreme, somebody is superior than me, I need to worship these things. So an idol worshipper is of much importance than somebody who's an atheist. You understand? So when you see Christians, we appreciate them. When you see Muslims, we appreciate them. But when you meet them, you want to dialogue, we tell them, you need to open up your horizon. Try to understand things in its own perspective. You'll understand that one religion will not take you anywhere. What will take you to the kingdom of God is your own love for God. Okay? So yes, the masses are not giving different or contradicting messages. They are giving one message, just that to the recipient. You see the way they write 9 in books. Not like this, it's like some kind of this. So when I start this way and I write it now, it is 9 to me. Somebody who is starting the other side now, it appears to be 6 to the person. So you say this is 6, I say this is 9. If you are not intelligent, we'll be fighting over this, petty stuff. But truly, what I'm saying is the fact. Because from here, I'm seeing 9. What you are saying is not wrong because you are seeing 6. This is what is happening in the world. But those who are very mature, those who understand God, they don't fight. They tell people what they do, what they think is the best. So I was talking to a Muslim friend, and I was like, why the allegation of people are having statues in your temples? And I said, they are not just statues. I mean, it's been there for many, many years. It's from the scriptures. But are you telling me that you don't have anything like that? No, it's Islam. We don't have this. I said, you have. You don't know. So I asked him, why do you face the east anytime when you are doing your prayers? He said, yeah, because you have to face the Kaaba. I said, have you ever been to the Kaaba before? Do you know what is in the Kaaba? They said, yes, the Kaaba, there's some black stone. I said, no, it wasn't a black stone. It was a white stone. But people are touching and kissing and they are so simple. That's why it's so black. If you read the hadith, it will tell you that Adam and Eve, when they were struck from the Garden of Eden, the angel who was supposed to take care of them turned to stone and followed them to where they went to go and reside. So Adam and Eve said, okay, if God, by his own grace, this stone has followed us from the garden, it means that God wants us to worship him through this stone. So they started worshiping God through the stone. So when Muhammad came, in the Kaaba, there was more than 311 stones there in the Kaaba. So Muhammad had to fight and remove all the stones, left to the only one that this is the original stone. So here, what we are looking at here, you must are having the same thing. It's not in your mosque here, it's only in Mecca. The stone you're worshiping now is Shiva Lingam. It's Shiva Lingam. You see, when you see mosque, you see they have some crescent. That sign, the sign of Shiva. If you look at Shiva, you see on the head here, you see that crescent there. There are things, because we are online, I won't say it. Because Muslims, that stone, that Kaaba, the stone represents Shiva. And everything you have studied Shivaism and you study Islam, you understand. So you don't have it in your mosque here in Ghana, but you have your own statue. In Mecca, the black stone, what is in Mecca? So go there and ask any Islamic scholar. They will tell you what is there. Normally they see our dress like this and they say, why are you dressing like this? But when they go to Mecca in pilgrimage, this is what they wear. When they go to Mecca, the period, they are not supposed to eat meat. You have to stay a vegetarian until you live there. So when I was telling all this, I said, hey, is it true? I said, go and ask your scholars. Why do you face the east when you are doing your prayers? They will tell you why you have to face. Ask them in the Kaaba, what is there that's so special that wherever you are, you have to face there. So if you go to any Islamic country, all the hotel rooms, they have an arrow that points to where there's east. Because they think that, okay, those who are living there, they are Muslim. So you need to know that this is where you have to face east. So what is so special about the east there? Because there's Mecca, because there's a Kaaba, and within the Kaaba there's a stone. That stone represents God on earth. That's why you have to be focused there. We are very fortunate. You are not so fortunate. You don't have it in your mosque. We are fortunate. The Supreme Lord is here. Listen. There's no time for us to talk about the deities. But I tell you, we cannot see. Many of us don't have spiritual eyes. We can only see stone. We can see marble. We can see iron. The Lord is so merciful. Okay, you cannot see me. But I want you to see me. Okay, this is what I look like. So make a picture like me. Look at me, serve me. When you become differently advanced, you will see that the Lord is not different from this. And people will quote the Bible and say, God said, you should not bow down to any graven image, whatever it is, they give stories. I say, yes, that's the fact. But who wrote the Bible? Roman Catholics, right? If you go to Roman temples, mosques, or churches, you don't see Mary statue. You don't see Jesus Christ statue there. So if they meant anything at all, any statue at all, why did they give us the Bible that says we shouldn't bow down to any graven image, but they haven't graven images there? Don't forget, the 10 Commandments was given to the Israelites. They were having the Ark of Covenant. It's a graven image because there are 2 angels standing on it. God said, this is me. If you are not clean, don't touch it. People tie the box, show them. So you need to understand. We have idol worship, we have deity worship. Idol worship comes from the word idea. Idea means imagination. Whatever you imagine, whatever you think, and from that understanding you want to worship, it becomes an idol worship. So when Moses went to the wilderness for the 10 Commandments, he didn't come early. The Israelites removed all their gold earrings and anklets and they made it into a golden calf. They started worshiping. Moses came, was very angry, he broke the 10 Commandments. Because of that, snakes started biting them. And God told them, go and make a copper snake. Anybody who's able to look at that, the person will be saved. So gold and copper, which one is so important? A calf and a snake, which one is much important? But God accepted the copper snake and rejected the golden calf. The golden calf was the idea of the people. So that worship is idol worship. The copper snake is the idea of God. That is a deity worship. So it is said in the New Testament that as the copper snake was raised in the wilderness, Jesus will be raised like that. So Jesus actually is the one that was raised during the time of Moses. So if you understand the scriptures well, you will never take the Lord as the things. No. No. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.